How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. The NBA All-Star break happened 3 weeks ago. As the season progresses, 2 months away from the play-in games, many teams will start getting ready for the postseason, resting some superstars perhaps, trying to become fully healthy come April, May, June, and July. A bunch of players have already upped their game to another level, proving what they're capable of, while former second overall pick Jabari Parker, waived by the Sacramento Kings. Crazy to believe he's out of the NBA at 26 years old, but on to the good news. Here are 8 players breaking out after the All-Star break. Rashad Holmes of the Sacramento Kings, a very underrated center, the definition of doing his job well as a role player, never talked about, playing the best ball of his career, putting up nearly 18 points, 11 rebounds the last 10 games, 33 minutes of action. One of the reasons why Marvin Bagley doesn't get playing time down the stretch, cause Holmes simply more effective. Of course the Raptors and Hornets were interested in Holmes at the deadline, since Mr. Bagley Sr. can't stop yapping on social media. Luke Walton dealt with this with LeVar while Lonzo was on the Lakers. Holmes just a guy who plays hard, doesn't need to be one of the main options, does his job well, but Bagley being picked over Doncic will continue being one of the biggest absolute travesties in NBA history. The 27-year-old Holmes helps impact the team more so than Bagley, who can't seem to figure out his true role. Last 7 games the Kings 6-1 without Mr. Bagley. Holmes excelling without him, not an all-star caliber player by any means, but a guy who shows up and just does his job every night. Well improved heading into 2021 free agency. How about Holmes' teammate De'Aaron Fox, absolutely going crazy after not being named an all-star, just as impressive as draft mates Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum all season, carrying an awful franchise. Last 10 games playing as good as anybody in the league, putting up over 31 points, 6.3 assists, nearly 2 steals, 54.5% shooting. It's a shame Fox still barely gets talked about, being the best leader the Kings have had since the mid-2000s days. Had a 44-point masterpiece versus Golden State, currently playing like a superstar and will be in the discussion amongst the elite point guards in the West for years to come. It's an absolute joke. Fox wasn't even voted top 10 by the fans for 2021 All-Star when Alex Caruso of the Lakers got more votes. That's a joke. Fox is 10 times better than AC. No disrespect. Playing winning basketball with their supposed second star always getting banged up and not producing to his potential. Fox also has to deal with distractions from outsiders. His performance on the court speaks volume itself. The Kings simply don't need Marvin Bagley III and Marvin Bagley Jr. himself. The franchise likely to trade him soon, to be honest. Perhaps more Twitter beef in the coming weeks. Being on one of the most inconsistent teams, Fox is the player many thought he would excel to and more, despite not being a good outside shooter, pouring his heart and soul into this team, trying to make Sacramento relevant again. The best Kings player since Chris Webber, sky's the limit for the star point guard. Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves, the #1 overall pick, showing scary upside. One of the best dunkers. When guys don't rotate, they'll end up getting abused. Proven to be the real deal, putting up 24.8 points, 5.4 rebounds last 10 games. His shooting still needs improvement. Terrific athlete, a big chance in winning Rookie of the Year since LaMelo's out. A monster 42-point game against the Suns, shown plenty of confidence. The third #1 pick the last 20 years to score 40 plus in a game as a rookie, joining Blake Griffin and LeBron James. Edwards looking like the second option for Towns, with D'Angelo Russell constantly banged up. A nice future ahead. Jordan Poole of the Golden State Warriors, year 2, getting his minutes lately. Last 10 games, 19.7 points, nearly 50% shooting, flourishing with the absence of Klay Thompson, overcoming from rough starts, dealt with early struggles, earned some reps in the G League. After posting just 5.3 points a game the month of January, many questioned whether he was even worthy of being an NBA player, making the most of his opportunities. Multiple 20-point games. The former Michigan Wolverine continues to evolve, 21 years young, being able to drain threes consistently will certainly help the Dubs. Norman Powell, now with the Trailblazers, a dark horse team to make some noise in the 2021 postseason, an upgrade and more established than Gary Trent Jr., flourishing at the right time, a 22-point debut with the Blazers, 5 of 7 from deep, last 9 games balling out, playing the best ball of his career, 24.3 points, 53 from the field, 47 from 3, in 43 games this season. Powell quietly putting up nearly 20 points a game, up from 16 a season ago, can come off the bench or start, doesn't matter. Experienced it all with Toronto, a real third option for Rip City, efficient upgrade, the best way to describe the team's mid-season acquisition. Adding an experienced player in his prime should take Portland to new heights. At nights, Powell can simply carry the load, even be the team's leading scorer. If Lillard or McCollum misses games, combined with having a 6'11 wingspan, the activity on the other side of the ball will lead to many turnovers from others. Portland's been struggling on defense the last few years anyway, so Powell provides the spark there. Combined with the presence of the scrappy Robert Covington and Derrick Jones Jr., the Blazers have a little bit of everything now. Saddiq Bey of the Detroit Pistons, 19 pick, last 9 games putting up 13.8 points, over 5 rebounds. All-stars for the awful Pistons, getting his reps. Although he won't win Rookie of the Year, will be in discussion for All-Rookie team, even though it won't matter for the Nets since they did trade Bey after drafting him in the 3-team deal that saw them landing Landry Shamet. Bey at 21 years old, looking more promising than the older Shamet, seen as a draft steal, making the most of his opportunity. Robert Williams of the Boston Celtics, by saving money and trading away Daniel Tice, the C's appear to be sold on a 23-year-old who's shown upside after showing inconsistency and unprofessionalism as a rookie. The 6'8" big been getting more comfortable, putting up 10 and 9 3 blocks over the last 10 games. Will need to continue playing good defense, especially come postseason time, to deal with bigs like Embiid and Bam because of his promise and upside. The Celtics didn't pursue that hard on the Andre Drummond signage. Williams recently earned his first start of the season, a raw athlete looking like himself when he was a force at Texas A&M. Boston desperately needing some positivity. After underperforming heavily the first half of the season, Williams will need to continue to play this way for the rest of the year for Boston to have any chance in competing with Miami, Philly, and Milwaukee, since they have no chance against a healthy Brooklyn team anyway. Kevin Porter Jr., second season, not wanted by the Cavs because of his attitude. As long as he stays professional and not make poor decisions off the court, the former 30th pick out of USC has a high ceiling. His first opportunity of the season with the Rockets, putting up 16.6 assists, 8 games, 5 starts. The 20-year-old asserting himself into a more prominent role, looked upon as a potential draft steal, was avoided by many teams due to injuries and off-court issues. Now a low-risk, high-reward player for the desperate Rockets seeking for his identity, Porter Jr. can prove crucial down the line. If the younger Steven Silas can relate, can potentially influence Porter Jr.'s attitude. Moses Brown, the 7'2" big out of UCLA, getting good minutes, 21 years young, shockingly went undrafted, declared for the draft after freshman year, worked his way up in the G League, played just 9 games with Portland last season. The Blazers definitely could have used him this year with the injuries to Yusuf Nurkic and the unavailable Zach Collins. Brown averaged 18.5 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks in the G League, made his first career start with OKC, replacing Al Horford, absolutely excelling, averaging 12.4 points, 12.3 rebounds, 61% shooting the last 9 games. The Thunder could not have asked for better from the young big, making the best of his opportunities, finding those unhidden gems. Brown first signed a 2-way deal, just converted into a multi-year deal as we all expected. Imagine a team like Brooklyn stealing him beginning of the year. Brown had an insane 21 and 23 game against Boston, 23 rebounds in only his 25th NBA game. Looked like Moses Malone out there, can finish strong at the rim, a force to be reckoned with. Combined with his size, if he gets even bigger, will easily punish smaller bigs down low. A bright future ahead. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which one of these players breaking out do you believe will become future All-Stars besides De'Aaron Fox? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much again for watching. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, current NBA, and anything NBA basketball related that might interest you. So if you love NBA basketball, just hit the subscribe button. I love all of you. Thanks so much again. See you next time.